Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
When you're in need of deeper respiratory support, try NAC 8.5X. 600 milligrams of NAC with 8.5 times better absorption. Available now at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of each month.
Hey everybody, it's Team Principe and Jason Strudwick. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
Imagine a family get-together where the smiles are as genuine as the conversations. That's the feeling you get at Nisku Ford, a family-owned dealership where finding a new Ford feels just like catching up with old friends. Here, you can take your time, explore the latest Fords, and enjoy the no-pressure atmosphere. It's not just about cars. It's about family, comfort, and trust. The coffee's on, so drive into Nisku Ford or visit niskuford.ca today. Above expectations.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
So Oilers play the Wild tonight. It's the beginning of a massive month that could decide the Oilers season. How good do you feel today about this edition of the Edmonton Oilers? The Lowdown is brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick, family-owned and community-driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, we're on YouTube. Also, Sports 1440 AM online at iHeartRadio, Radio Player Canada, and sports1440.ca. After the show, Apple and Spotify podcast carry us, and we tweet it out on X. Twitter, we're at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at jfenwick04, and at Donovan Paulson as well. You can text or call anytime, 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. How good do you feel about this edition of the Edmonton Oilers? That's my question today. Text us and we'll talk about it all day, along with Jasper Wallstedt. Everybody's happy that he's in town. Is there another shout out coming for the young man? We will talk Dylan Cease as well. And also, what's the number one song this year? Is it Luther or The Fate of Ophelia? So there's a few things to get to. Our guest today, Joe O'Donnell, radio broadcaster, play-by-play man for the Minnesota Wild. And now the introductions. I saw him walking out of the radio station with a box of promotional items in his hands yesterday. And for a minute, I thought radio had gone back to the olden days when they paid employees with records and $5 off sub coupons. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick.
No, that box of promotional material was actually just Gregor teaching me a lesson to make sure that I put my invoice in on time, because he said sorry, and he handed me that box and said better luck next month.
Well,
so that's all right. These will be fun.
Oh man, yeah. That's one thing that is a part of the process. Learning in radio is that put that invoice in. All right. For most of the week, he's a quiet, unassuming young man who avoids crowds and rarely initiates a verbal battle. Why? He saves up all of his energy for this show. He can rain down blows on me. He's the king of elder abuse. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Donovan Paulson. Donovan Paulson.
The king of elder.
Yes, I'm calling you out. What do you drive by the old folks' home and throw stuff at them?
Only yours.
Oh,
they weren't
right.
supposed to know that.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I throw stones at your house.
I told you, when I go, it's going to be a place called the Pine Island Lodge. They haven't built it yet, and the first thing I'm going to do is give them a photo of you and say he doesn't get in. All right, he's moved back to the producer's chair, which gives him more control, but cuts his camera time. I'm not sure that's a win for the show, but it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger.
You know, I was having a fake argument this morning against all of you guys about Lane Kiffin. That's how fired up I still am about the situation. But yeah, Tuesday, happy to be here.
Lane Kiffin isn't on the agenda today. Did you want to vent now and then get it? Because
I didn't. I don't want it brought up at all. Actually,
because
I just did this to myself.
Donovan is in the room, so arguing with me is one thing, but he'll cut you. So I mean, if you want to argue with him on Lane Kiffin, fine, but I wouldn't tackle that.
Well, I'm just saying, like, with all due respect to Donovan, I think Donovan would probably admit this. I don't think he has the ammo to argue with me when it comes to Lane Kiffin.
No, I don't.
Right? So,
okay.
However, I would love to see you argue with yourself about Lane Kiffin. That would be a good segment.
The shower arguments I have, they would do numbers on Fox News. Let me tell you.
Just don't fall, okay? Because we need you. All right, let's start here. I want to go around the room. I asked at the top of the show, we're going to ask our listeners all day today, how good do you feel today about this edition of the Edmonton Oilers?
I would say I feel okay. I feel like they're trending in the right direction. I thought they were substantially better defensively, and that's why they got the result that they did in Seattle. They didn't give up nearly as many high danger chances from the slot. I know they got out high danger chanced in the game, but that's a large result of they continue to play the perimeter and don't go to the front of the net. Yeah. But I feel a lot better than I was, let's say, 2 weeks ago. Like the Florida game, the Tampa game, I thought those were steps in the right direction. They kind of blow all our hopes and dreams out of the sky against Dallas. But I feel okay. And then I feel Minnesota's a team historically. They haven't been great against Minnesota. If you go and look back, there's been some boring games against the Wild in recent memory. But I feel fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like this is the cup winning team right now. I feel like there's still a lot of changes to be made, but I feel okay.
What about you, Declan?
Yeah, I'm at probably a 5 out of 10 on the Edmonton Oilers team. Like, I don't believe they were my preseason prediction to win the cup. I had them over Carolina in the Stanley Cup Finals. I probably don't feel to this point in the season, based on what we've seen and how we predict trends to continue, that this team can win the Stanley Cup. But I'm at a 5 out of 10. Like, I talked about this yesterday. You've had spots where you've had big wins and have had chance to build momentum and have failed to do so. The Carolina win and the Florida win on that last road trip spring to mind. This is another one. Like, Seattle isn't the quality of opposition as either of those two teams, but it was a thorough win. You got a shutout, which is tough to do in the NHL. You really, in a lot of respects, kind of fired on all cylinders. Again, Seattle's not some world beater or anything, but it showed what you could be. So I want to see that continue. I want to see the Oilers build off it. Like, do I think the Oilers are going to be a playoff team? Absolutely. Do I think this is the year they finally reach a hiccup in the West? Probably. Yeah, I do. So as it stands right now, December 2nd, 5 out of 10 on the Oilers.
What about you, Josh?
First thing I want to say is, Donovan, tell me you're fine one more time, and maybe I'll believe you. You should feel okay about this Edmonton Oilers team. It's okay. It's okay.
It's like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say I'm right around there, the mushy middle. I don't feel awesome about how they're playing, but I like it. They've looked better than they looked October 31st. You know, So trending in the right direction. I think like Roslovic being out is huge, though. So I don't know how much I feel about that. Maybe that lowers it a bit more for me. But all things considered, they need to start tonight off with a bang. And I think the rest of this homestand will go peachy for them.
All right.
But that starts with tonight.
Okay. I was looking at the schedule last night. Every month at the beginning of the month, I predict the schedule. And usually it's not far away. I think it was 1 point off last month. And Declan mentioned this yesterday. The schedule in December eases. It really does. The homestand is one thing. I think I have them losing twice in the homestand. I have them losing tonight to Minnesota, but I have them going 9-3-3 in the 15 games, if I counted right, in December. It's a pretty nice schedule for the Edmonton Oilers after a tough one in November. Now, a few things have to happen in order for them to get to 9-3-3, and that is the way they played, as Donovan mentioned, such a complete game against Seattle. That has to continue. But there's a point in a season where, you absolutely have to have the rubber hit the road, and they are here. Even if they go 9-3-3 in December, this Edmonton Oilers team will, after 41 games, be in a position to finish with around 96 points if they were to double the final 41 games. They're not out of the woods yet. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think they'll probably win a round. But what they need, and what I'm encouraged by, if it happens tonight, maybe it'll change, but it looks like they're running Matt Savoy on the Connor McDavid line, and they're asking Ryan Nugent-Hopkins to cobble together with a couple of veterans in Adam Henrique and Matthias Janmark, a third line that can at least play the field at par. They're not going to be 57% outscorers at 5-on-5 on that third line, but they can't bleed like they have. And then McDavid's line and Draisaitl's line have to push the river and win the games, which is what they are paid to do. But there's at least, and every time Chris Knobloch gets a formula that works, and he had it in Seattle, lesser team, I get it, I understand, but it was working. Every time he does that, this team goes on a winning streak. I suspect they lose tonight. And that brings us to our second point in the opening segment. Jesper Wallstedt. Now, it wasn't that long ago the Edmonton Oilers had the opportunity to draft Jesper Wallstedt, and people were up in arms, absolutely up in arms. And I said at the time, why don't we let these young people, Xavier Bourgault, Jesper Wallstedt, show us who they are? And you know what? Jesper Wallstedt has shown us who he is, and good for the Minnesota Wild for drafting him. It reminds me so much of the year the New Jersey Devils traded with the Edmonton Oilers to pick up Zach Parise in the early part of the century, I believe. And for me, this Edmonton Oilers organization drafted Bourgault, ended up being the poor player, but that's not really the story here. The story is the Minnesota Wild, who during the period of the last, say, 10 years or so, were restricted by these mammoth contracts, including Parise, and really had to find a way to procure talent and be really good at the draft table, and they are. And they're well run. Bill Guerin does a great job general managing. They are really good at the draft. They've made some astute trades, and I think the Minnesota Wild are an up-and-coming team. I don't think the Oilers win tonight, but I also think that it's an opportunity to watch a young player emerge in Jesper Wallstedt. I don't know how good he's going to be. I don't think he's as good as he's shown this year, but what a great story. And I know everybody's mad the Oilers didn't draft him, but my understanding was on the draft day that if they had taken a goalie, it would have been Sebastian Cossa. So they didn't have him on the radar. And you can be critical of the Edmonton Oilers scouting staff or the general manager who made the final call, and that's fine. But I think their story here is really, and we're going to talk coming up at 12:40 about it. It's about an organization that really had no alternative but to go out and get players via the draft and have them work out and be efficient contracts because they had so much of their cap room paid to two players. And we'll talk to Joe O'Donnell about that, radio play-by-play man for the Minnesota Wild. That's a hell of a good thing for the Minnesota Wild. And that's the story for me today. Any thoughts on young Wallstedt?
Well, he's a rookie goalie, right? The thing about, for me, rookie goalies, you can clump these types of things all in the same deal. Rookie goalies, rookie pitchers, I view them kind of the same. There is no real book on them for NHL players.
They're going to be inconsistent.
And they're going to be inconsistent. There's going to be, you're not going to know really where to shoot yet, right? Like there's not that NHL level book. I mean, I know we all like to hate on Stuart Skinner right now. That is one of Edmonton's favorite pastimes right now. But if we go back to Stuart Skinner's rookie season and you see, let's just take his 22-23 where he had 50 games played, 48 starts. That was really his rookie year, I think we'd agree, because prior to that, he had 13 starts.
Yeah.
He had a 914.
Yeah. It was very good.
It has plummeted down since then, but that is the result of people not knowing where to shoot, not really having the scouting report. And Stuart Skinner looked really good in his rookie season. You can look at Jesper Wallstedt and say, oh, but he's more talented. There's a bigger pedigree. I'd agree, but let's not act like he is.
He's not Ken Dryden.
He's not Ken Dryden. He's not Patrick Waugh. Let's not act like this is Marty Brodeur that the Oilers passed up on here. I know the numbers are impressive. I know that he's looked fantastic this year, but it's a rookie goalie. We've seen a lot of rookie goalies come in, have a great rookie season, and then the second year they implode.
Well, the trouble that you have is, I've always felt the Oilers did it with Cam Talbot, who wasn't a rookie, but he came in and he played so well, and they played the hell out of him. 73 games, 68 games, and as long as they don't do that, I think Skinner, with respect to all the goaltenders who have played with Skinner, and that'd be Campbell and Pickard, the Oilers under Ken Holland never really addressed goaltending. They thought, oh, well, Skinner can start and he'll be the starter. And he was never projected to be that. So he's playing 50 games a year, but he had not, they didn't slide him in and give him a year where he played 29 and then 37. He just was plumped onto the roster, and he plays 50 games a year plus. So Holland spent all the money and he didn't get a backup. Well, he did. He got Campbell, who was a starter, but it didn't work out. And now we're in a position with Stan Bowman where he's going to have to go do that. But for Wallstedt to be able to work out for the Edmonton Oilers, that was a big bet on draft day. They decided not to make it. I don't know that he was on their radar, but I give Minnesota Wild credit. And they've got two good goaltenders. I wonder, not this year, but I wonder in the summertime if they might be willing to make a move.
Brian Gustafson, the extension, right?
Well, I know, but that's the guy. If the Oilers are going to make a trade,
it is the guy.
Donovan, I mean, he's the guy. Ryan from Saskatchewan says, hey, LT, long time since I've been able to listen live. Hope you're well. I'm doing good. On the Oilers, don't think their current group is far off, but I think fatigue has caught up. Playing defense is a choice. Gamesmanship is a choice. I do not think they're consciously choosing to not engage. Rather, mental fatigue is having an impact. They've looked slightly more connected in all three zones in 3 of the last 4 games. Zone exits need to be strong, more efficient to clean up their possession game. It goes on, but I wanted to stop there because I think that the what I saw in Seattle was that they were more varied. They weren't as predictable, and they really did back check. Like they really worked hard on the back check, and their passes were better. I've noticed a few things this year that are a little unusual, and I can't explain them yet. One of them is Connor McDavid's stick handling. He loses the puck a lot, like unforced errors that never used to happen to McDavid. I don't know if it's the ice. I don't know if it's fatigue. I'm not sure. And he's a wonderful player. I mean, my God, what a hockey player. But that didn't happen to the extent that it's happened this year. And I wonder if there's an issue, or it's just luck of the draw.
This might be... Do you think he's trying to do a little too much right now?
Yeah, I think that's fair. That's a fair criticism. A lot of, he's in a position where the expectations are so high, it wouldn't be a stretch to say that that's the case.
I feel like that's the most likely reason. We've seen a lot of players struggle when they are trying to do too much. He looks like a guy who's trying to do too much. He looks like he's trying to spread the wealth around a little bit too much to me. I mean, you can criticize the shot selection right now. When he's in the slot, sometimes he's not shooting. There's a lot to look at in Connor McDavid's game and think to yourself, my God, there's still so many ways for him to, I don't want to say improve because that's not the right word.
No, I know. But
there's so many ways to have a better season than he's having. And he's still having, numbers wise, he's having a great year.
I think you could say there are ways for him to use his enormous talent more efficiently.
Yes, that's a great way of putting it.
All right, Joe O'Donnell on the way, radio broadcaster, play-by-play guy for the Minnesota Wild at 12:40. We're going to have discussion about the Oilers all through the day. Rumors is next, and we're going to stop and make a point of discussing Matt Savoy, who apparently, last I saw, was going to be on the top line with Connor McDavid. We'll talk about the investment of time, what they're getting back, and why they are continuing through what has been a very difficult first portion of the year for Mr. Savoy. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Bringing every project to life requires the right team. By joining the
Tuesday, we're cheating a little bit. Blue Rodeo, man. Any excuse to play them. We're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com. Little breezy today for the temperature, right? Like if it's going to be this windy, it should be plus 10, I think. I think that's the way to go. Are you done your Christmas shopping yet, gentlemen?
Haven't even started.
Wow.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So we're just buying GCs online, are we? Or?
No, we put a lot of thought into Christmas shopping back on this side of the table. But it's a lot of people to shop for.
Well, but that's what you're young and you have a lot of different circles of influence, so that's okay.
What do you guys want for Christmas?
Oh, don't get me anything. For
No,
Christmas.
I wasn't planning on it, but I just wanted to know what you wanted. What are you asking for this year?
Well, I've already asked, so I've run out of copies of my book, so I've made it known that I'd like to get a copy of my book. I like Crown Royal. I am open to socks, and I wouldn't mind a vinyl version, like a really pristine, not the new fakey ones, but a really pristine vinyl version of Sticky Fingers. The one that I own is worn through, so that's what I would like.
Well, here's the most important question. Have you been a good little boy this year?
No, I've been bad.
Okay, so Santa's going to get you a lump of coal.
Depending upon who you talk to, it would be you don't even get the coal.
You've been working with him for 11 straight months. Like, he has not been a good guy, a good little boy.
I was the one who wrote the letter to Santa telling him to give him coal.
Listen, he's just mad at me because I caught him stealing stuff from the radio station yesterday, but I'm a really good guy.
And I know you've been trying to get in his good graces by putting on your Winnie the Pooh pajamas and getting to bed early, but unfortunately for you, there's nothing that can redeem what you've done this year.
So does anybody on this panel, aside from me, have something they really want?
Yeah, I asked for a Dutch oven.
Oh, interesting.
Really want that because you can cook in it. You can cook anything in it.
What can a Dutch oven cook that an air fryer can?
I like the stuff that comes out of a Dutch oven more than what comes out of an air fryer. Jambalaya, you can cook jambalaya in a...
Jambalaya is so good.
Yeah, can't cook that in an air fryer.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't even know if I've asked for anything yet.
Well, you don't need anything.
I don't.
I'm going to get you concert tickets to Taylor Swift. By the way, I think that is the number one song. Her Ophelia song is number one.
It is, according to billboards. And yes,
from her new album.
No, it was
I don't know.
ago.
Well, he's a big fan. He pretends he doesn't know what album it's from.
I have no idea.
Come on, Donovan.
But I will say, like,
Donovan's changing his name to Ophelia.
I am the king of giving people gift cards.
Are you? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's a good way to go.
Come on, put a little more heart into it, brother.
No. I mean, when the 10th year after my kids say, "Dad, cash," I just started doing it.
Like, what am I supposed to get? My dad is the ultimate Canadian Tire snooper. He goes into Canadian Tire and he just looks around for hours.
Yeah.
And I don't know, if he wants to buy a power tool, he'll buy a power tool. I don't know what he's going to buy. So I'll just buy him a Canadian Tire gift card.
Those guys are great, though, because I go down there and I don't know what the hell I need, but I know I got a problem. And I end up talking to those guys and they solve my problem for me. So your dad's a valuable part of the community.
Oh, he definitely is. And he goes out of his way to help anybody who needs the help at the Canadian Tire or he's the type of guy that stops on the side of the road when someone needs some help. So he is that type of dude. But I wish I could probably get him something more personalized, but unfortunately this guy will spend 3 hours in Canadian Tire and I have no idea what he's even doing in there.
What if you purchased from Canadian Tire like a Canadian Tire like sign? You know what? Put it up in his
excellent idea.
Yeah.
This is genius.
Just like something that is personal.
Then he can snoop around your parents' bedroom all he wants because it's Canadian Tire.
All right. It's time for Rumors, brought to you by Great Canadian Solar. We believe you should create your own electricity. Let's build a brighter, sustainable future with GreatCanadianSolar.com. This is interesting. This is from a listener, but it is about the Oilers, and it is newsworthy. Hey, Lowetide, according to 32 Thoughts, McDavid has been experimenting with different sticks this year, and that would actually make sense. Whether somebody told him to get a longer stick. Howie Meeker had a whole show on that on one of his broadcasts about everybody's got their sticks are too short or too long. Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. But if he's on to a new stick and it's working, then, that's a beautiful thing. This always happens when defensemen who have played in the NHL a long time turn 29 or 30, and then the team that knows them backwards lets them go to free agency or trades them, then it's a problem. And with that, Leafs Brandon Carlo likely to undergo surgery, out indefinitely. It happens all the time. And, an example, and I hate to say this because I really like him as a player, is Jake Wallman of the Edmonton Oilers. When he plays, you're like, oh my God, this guy can really help. But he's injured. He gets injured a lot. It's one of those things. And as people reach, we don't know how Declan is. By the way, did you know that Jack Roslovic's number is 28?
I did.
Yeah. So we don't know how old
I've heard
Declan,
something about that.
We don't know how old are you, Declan?
It's a
Jack
heck of a
Roslovic's
number.
number.
I could be anywhere from 25 to 32. And we'll just never know.
Man, that number increases every day, hey?
Yeah, it does. Because Jack Roslovic's number is 28. He spilled the beans last week.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, because I'm 28. Or no, I was born in whatever year it was.
Well, it was
said
crazy, Donovan. I accidentally slipped up in Christmas of an unnamed year. We all forget. I was a certain age, and Lowetide did the math quick on air and outed me.
I think you said 2006.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
That's a tough scene for you, Deck.
It was a tough scene.
Well, you got to understand. I was waiting for that moment. I had, it was burned in my brain. When he tells me, you've got to pick something that you can remember Jack Roslovic's number and remember.
I felt like Shoshana eating the strudel with Hans Landa. Like I completely blew my cover.
Wow, it was nice though. The Blackhawks have activated and reassigned Laurent Brossoit. So online, you'll be seeing a lot of why don't they trade for Brossoit rumors. From Edmonton Oilers fan. And it happens. And there was a trade, losing Kings, Nikita Alexandrov for Akil Thomas. Big trade.
Barn burner.
Yeah. I was going to ask your opinion, but I suspect you don't really have one.
What's the opinion to have? These guys might play 5 games for each respective team.
Yeah, that's about right. All right. In baseball, Dylan Cease signs with Toronto. We haven't talked about it a lot. I mentioned that I thought it was a good signing. I like it for the Blue Jays. I like that they got a strikeout pitcher. I think he fits well. They signed him long-term. They got a bunch of guys who are coming up on free agency on the mound on the starter side. That's a good move for me. What did you think of it?
Well, let's start with Dylan Cease. He is like the ultimate. He's the king of frustration when it comes to the pitching side. You could look back to his 2 years in San Diego and say, 1 year he finished, 4th in Cy Young voting, and then the other year last year he was terrible. I know that the FIP would tell you he was unlucky. I know that would tell you that the defense behind him was terrible, but just based on his pure pitching, like the first time through the order, he was elite. The ERA was great. The FIP numbers were excellent. His FIP was, I think, around like a 2.3.
Yeah, it was excellent.
The ERA was excellent. But then the second and third times through the order, the FIP and the ERA jumped all the way up to like 5.3, and it got worse and worse the longer he went into a game. So Dylan Cease last year, don't let the numbers fool you. He was no good. But the reason I like this signing for the Jays, I think it's too much. I think it's an overpay. But I feel like, we all know where baseball's going. The money is just going to continue to get more and more and more, and it's going to age probably a little bit better once we get into the middle, and then obviously near the end, he's probably going to fall off, and then we'll be a little bit more concerned. The reason I like this is Dylan Cease is a 2-pitch pitcher. He's a fastball slider guy. The Jays with 2-pitch pitchers, I'll look to Kevin Gausman, who he has the show me slider, which it's effective a little bit to righties. It's really just a steal strike pitch.
Keep them off balance.
Keep them off balance. Keep you honest a little bit. Is he not just right-handed Robbie Ray?
A little bit, that's, you said that before the show. We were talking and I thought, man, that's interesting. And Ray is kind of up and down too. Like he has been inconsistent as well.
Before the Jays got their hands on Robbie Ray was at one in 2017, 2.89 ERA, finished 7th in Cy Young voting. If you jump forward a year, he just had just under a 4 ERA with the D-backs. Then 2019, everything started to fall apart for Robbie Ray, 4.34. And then in 2020, he had a 6.62. He was awful.
Yeah.
Then the Jays get their hands on him. And in 2021, he wins the Cy Young with a 2.84. I know that the FIP numbers are a little different, but Robbie Ray is the perfect example of what Dylan Cease can be. And we heard all this talk about the projection and the pitch that the Jays had for Dylan Cease. I feel like it was exactly what they did for Robbie Ray, which is fastball in the zone. Let's keep you in the zone early in the count, and then we can use your wipeout slider because he is fastball slider. He has a knuckle curve that he mixes in there a little bit. It's about 8% of the time. That thing got crushed last year. So I feel like the Jays will say, we'll work on that a little bit more. We'll try and keep that like Kevin Gausman's slider, get that a keep you honest pitch and steal a strike or two. But I feel like that's the approach, which is keep Dylan Cease's fastball in the zone. If you look at the heat maps, it's up and the slider is down and in usually. That's the recipe. If they can get him to execute even 5% better, there's a real chance that Dylan Cease could have a Robbie Ray level season.
Right. And consistency is always the key. 12:33 Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 on YouTube. Declan, I love the look of the Patriots last night. I thought Steve Grogan might run out and throw a ball, but they look good. How good we were talking to AFC yesterday. How good are the newfangled Patriots?
Well, I do think the New England Patriots are a very good team. And Donovan and I were talking about this before the show, that they are probably more so a product of their schedule than anything. But to their credit, you still got to win the games that are there. And they have beaten some tough teams. They obviously beat Buffalo. That was way back at the beginning of October. They beat Tampa, which is a division leading team. Like, they are a good team, but I still think, like, my take on the New England Patriots has always been this team is going to have a really impressive record at the end of the year. They're going to get into the playoffs, and then they're going to play a really good team in the playoffs, or an actual good team, I should say, and lose. But now I'm kind of starting to wonder, like, with the way the AFC landscape sits, are they just one of those top teams in the AFC? Like, I look at their remaining schedule. It's going to get tough here down the stretch. Buffalo at home, Baltimore on the road, Miami, and then New York. They should win those Jets Dolphin games. Maybe they lose the Baltimore Buffalo games and they go 2-2 to finish the season, end up 13-4. Like, that is a heck of a season. I don't know what it's going to look like with Denver, but that's going to have you in the conversation to be the number one seed in the AFC and get that bye. Like, they are, for me, they have separated themselves in the AFC with the Denver Broncos. I think those are the two teams who sit atop there. I don't know what those two teams are going to look like in playoff. I both think they have restrictions to them, but the Patriots are just playing well. And at some point, you are what your record says you are.
All right, Josh.
Respectfully, I disagree with Declan. I think they are fully a product of their schedule, and I don't believe in them in the playoffs at all. That being said, Mike Vrabel is their coach, and he is a very, very good coach.
And he was running fast last night down the sideline.
Yeah, look at him go.
Man, I give it, like, their schedule is garbage.
Like, honestly, they should go 3-1 with that schedule. They maybe lose to the Bills, so they could go 4-0. Bills have, again, wishy-washy, but the Ravens have looked god-awful. Every team in the AFC North has looked god-awful this year.
No one wants to win that division.
Nobody wants to win that division, which is why the Bengals are going to come back and win it.
Oh, my God.
They might.
They might. Joe Burr, he's back.
This would be the ultimate comeback. I mean, they always start poorly, but this was ridiculous.
3-8.
All right, really quickly, where was I going to go with this? There was something I was going to say. It's gone. It was a question I was going to ask all three of you really quickly.
How do you feel about Lane Kiffin going to LSU?
No, well, I'm not. We went through that yesterday. I thought we gave Declan many hours.
He did a great job defending his stance.
Yeah,
I did a great job restraining myself.
I know what I was going to ask. NBA, anything going on? I know that Murray got hurt. Jamal Murray got hurt. Anything exciting? 76ers ripped off 5 in a row. What's going on?
I'll tell you one. I was watching the Lakers Suns game last night.
Nice.
And Luka, like, low key, he be looking kind of pissed at LeBron when LeBron does something. Like,
love it.
It's funny because Luka shows up and drops 35 like it's nothing. Like, he just smokes hookah before the game, has an Uncrustable, gets on the court, and he's the best player we've ever seen. But, like, while I was watching the game, I was kind of like, Luka was kind of looking a little fed up with LeBron almost, which I just thought was a funny anecdote. Obviously, I don't think he actually is. I think things are going to work out for them as teammates, especially this season. But it was just kind of a funny visual. Like, never in LeBron's career ever, maybe the 2011 finals with D Wade, because D Wade was already a champion. But no time has anyone been able to kind of shake their head at LeBron and been like, come on, man. Like, Luka is doing that right now. And I just thought it was kind of funny to watch. Also, Colin Gillespie, randomly best player in the NBA for one night. Like, he was insane yesterday. It had 8 threes.
LeBron had 10 points and 3 assists yesterday on 3 of 10 shooting. That is probably his worst game in the history.
But he kept the double-digit streak.
He kept his double-digit streak alive on 21.4% shooting.
Does he make it all the way to the end of the season with the Lakers?
No, I still think
no.
I still don't think so. I think I'm very perched on that hill of just like he's going to get traded to the Cavs.
But low key, the Lakers could also maybe win it.
Oh my God.
Maybe.
Well, we're gonna have to.
I think they need to.
conversation.
This is going to sound insane. They need to trade LeBron to get an extra little piece
They
in there.
honestly do.
All right.
It's weird to think about.
Joe O'Donnell, radio broadcaster, play-by-play guy for the Minnesota Wild on the way. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Mr. Rooter decorates a gingerbread house.
Wow. What did you do here, Mr. Rooter?
Well, we've got a Jube Jube toilet, complete with an icing-based wax seal. The main water line is licorice, red for hot, black for cold. You got your standard marshmallow hot water tank and a candy cane sewer line. And on the outside, candy corn hose pips. Disgusting, but they get the job done.
To have your Yule clogs fixed, trust one plumber, Mr. Rooter.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business. And for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
A mullet for Marvin, a bowl cut for Barry, a pompadour for Peter, who's now really quite hairy. After this Christmas, all the men wish they could get some hair restoration from Dr. Vance Elliott.
Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. While you're Christmas shopping, consider giving yourself the greatest gift of all, a full natural head of hair. I know the results will be life-changing. Want to make this the year you get your mojo back? Book a free first consultation today at drvanceelliott.com.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
For Wolf GMC Buick, check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. Official now, we were just talking about Dylan Cease. He has signed officially $30 million a year times 7. That's more than Declan makes. That's some major coin for a guy coming off what has been pretty much an unusual year, although nobody doubts the talent that he has. Edmonton Oilers playing the Minnesota Wild tonight, home game for Edmonton. They played so well against Seattle. Fans are hoping they continue it. The schedule in December is very good for Edmonton. They should be able to make hay. The question is, where will they be and can they take advantage? If they play like they did on Saturday afternoon, I suspect they'll be able to. Now, the Minnesota Wild are something else again. They're playing very well, maybe the hottest team in the league. They got a great young goaltender who's doing well. Joined now by Joe O'Donnell, play-by-play broadcaster for the Minnesota Wild. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks, Lowetide. Anytime, buddy.
Okay, so Edmonton Oilers fans, the moment it happened, the moment Jesper Wallstedt was picked up by the Minnesota Wild, the Wild made a trade with Edmonton. They ended up picking the goaltender. This is not hindsight. Many Edmonton Oilers fans were absolutely over the moon about the signing or about the draft pick, and they didn't get it. Minnesota got the guy, and so good on the Minnesota Wild. They've done a really good job at the draft table, and this young man is really turning heads. I don't know that he'll win the Calder, but he's got to be in the conversation.
Yeah, and good on Jesper Wallstedt, to be honest, because he's put the work in. Up until really the last month, like it would have been hard pressed to say exactly how he was going to pan out. Just turned 23 years of age. Goaltenders are a very fickle position, no matter your age, especially for a young guy. We've seen so many young goalies burst onto the scene and then fade, or vice versa. And for Jesper Wallstedt, last year was a rough year. Wasn't good in the American Hockey League, wasn't good in a small sample size in Minnesota, battled injury. I'm sure there were some confidence issues. He put the work in the summer, came back knowing Marc-Andre Fleury was going to retire essentially, and the job was his as long as he, produced and showed up in camp and had a good preseason, checked those boxes. And boy, what a month in November he just had, winning all 6 starts and really just helping this Wild team kind of figure it out after a slow October, really for the entire group.
I've had a theory for a long time. I think it's true. When the Wild signed Parise and Suter for the 13-year contracts back in 2012, I think at some level, and then they do the buyouts, it hamstrung them in terms of cap, obviously. But Bill Guerin decided to, and maybe even the predecessor decided to, make sure they drafted well and made astute trades for youth. And every time I see the Wild, there's some new player, and I go, "Oh my God, who's this guy?" And when you look at the roster, this group is stacked. The window maybe is open now. I don't know, to win the Stanley, but the next 5 years or so is going to be a fun time to be in the state of hockey.
Yeah, it was one of the exciting things for me personally coming into this year was looking at the young players, because it was going to be the first time in a number of years where a bunch of young guys were going to be given an opportunity. You got to give Judd Brackett, who runs the Wild's draft, as their director of scouting. They brought him in from Vancouver a couple of years ago. I don't know what happened there, why the Canucks would let a guy with that track record leave the organization, but the Wild are fortunate to have Judd Brackett running things. For the most part, it feels like his first and second round picks the last couple of years are on the right track, right? You can never really say for sure until guys really find their footing in the NHL, but for the most part, it's been more hits and misses, and that's exciting. I mean, Z Bouillon, young kid coming in, first full season in the NHL, has a ton of upside. We talked about Wallstedt a minute ago. Danila Yurov comes over now from Russia. You have Liam Ogren, who still hasn't really produced much at the NHL level, but the frame is there. Some of the other skill set he possesses give you a lot of excitement about him. Another former first rounder. There's a couple guys in Iowa I know they're excited about. So, anytime you're usually in the top 10 of prospect rankings in most publications over a few years, doesn't always equal success, but it gives the organization, fan base, certainly some hope that things are on the upswing. And the big thing for, as you know, the Wild just haven't gotten out of the first round in like a decade. So getting there is great. If they can do it again this season, the big test then will be come April and May, like, are they ready to take that next step?
You bring up a really good point. I remember when Minnesota came into the league, Columbus, and those teams that, whatever the cycle might be, they didn't have. I mean, Gaborik was a great pick, but there was a cycle of there were no McDavids. you know, in their early time, and it really kind of set them up for, the ceiling was not as high. And you know, I think the longest, the deepest Minnesota's ever gone was like year 3. They went to the third round, something like that. And so and yet Minnesota Wild fans are very rabid. They love the sport. It's basically, you know, Canada for hockey in Minnesota or more. And I feel like this is a story that in a way has sort of been sleeping for about 20 years, but Minnesota hockey fans are very, very they love hockey as much as we do. And this, I always wondered, I remember when the North Stars moved to Dallas and won the Stanley there with Modano, I always wondered what would happen in Minnesota if they ever won a Stanley Cup. And I'm not saying the Wild will, but I think the window is about to open for this team.
Yeah, it's a smart hockey fan base as well, right? Like they know the game. A lot of the people in Minnesota obviously have played it. The youth hockey level in Minnesota is excellent for talent and numbers. Like, you know, we have 3 boys that all play in Edina, one of the suburbs, and you know, our youngest son, there's 500 kids went out for mite hockey when we first got to town. Wow. just in our town. You know, so this is a fan base that gets it. They love it. They're waiting. You're right. 2003 is a long time ago. That's when they went to the conference finals with, you know, guys like Wes Walls and Darby Hendrickson and Andrew Brunette. You know, they want this team to take the next step, and the core didn't change much, you know, from last year to this year. You know, so it's on this group of, you know, obviously Kaprizov and Zuccarello and Boldy, but Eric Sinek, Brodin and Spurgeon, guys that have been here forever. Ryan Hartman, Marcus Foligno, like that's your core. It's up to them to, you know, again, get through the long grind, hopefully healthy, hopefully get in the playoffs, and then try to get out of the first round. They played really well against Vegas last year. Like they had the Golden Knights on their heels, on the ropes, leading that series 2-1, and then didn't win another game. And that's been their downfall of the last few years. Wild made the playoffs 11 of the last 13 seasons. But getting out of the first round has been a struggle.
Well, and the other thing is, you know, Minnesota plays in a very tough division. I mean, they're 14-7-5, I think, right now. But that damn division has like Colorado in it and Dallas in it. Like that's wildly unfair if you think about it.
Yeah, it's not easy. You knew that going in. I mean, I thought Winnipeg might take a little bit of a step back because they have like 100 and whatever points last year. You figured, okay, like they're probably not going to come way back to the pack, but having another year like that might be a little difficult. Now life without Connor Hellebuck for them makes it even harder for the Jets. They're starting to fade a bit, but as you know, injuries dictate so much. And in a tight division, Utah's on the rise. You know, St. Louis is struggling, but last year we saw them go on a heck of a run and sneak in that final playoff spot. It is a tough division on a regular basis. I mean, the Wild for a couple years, you know, we're having tough times winning divisional games. Like they had to clean up on the East and beat up on the Pacific when they could just to scratch out some of those points. But this year is no different in the Central Division. It is just saw Colorado, only saw Dallas once very early in the season, but, you know, those two teams appear like they're not going anywhere anytime soon. So, you know, if you're the Wild, you know that it's going to be 90-plus points again pretty much every year for the next few years with how good everybody else is in the Central.
Can we get an update on Marco Rossi?
Yeah, so he did skate a little bit yesterday. I don't know that it went super well, meaning I don't know that he's in the next step now of progression, but he's not on the trip currently. But John Hines did just say a few minutes ago at Rogers Place that the hope is that if he continues to feel better. This is a 8-day trip for the Wild, 4 games with, you know, a day off in between. To go to Calgary, go to Vancouver, go to Seattle after Edmonton. So there is time on this trip to get Rossi to join the team mid-trip. That's the hope. I'd probably put it at a coin flip right now whether or not he plays a game on this trip or he's just back for the team when they get home next week.
Final question for you. Long time ago, 2010, the Oilers drafted Tyler Pitlick. He played, had a very nice little career there, 400 and some games. And then he spent a couple of years in the AHL, back a little bit this year, just got waived and sent down. And I know he's played 15 games and no points, but he's a kind of a two-way type. Are we probably looking at, like, he's 34 years old, so he's gotten everything out of his ability, I think. But are we looking at a guy who's kind of a fringe guy and maybe this is his last year?
I think, when I talked to some of the hockey operations staff during camp to get a feel for some of those, depth signings like a Tyler Pitlick, I got told pretty quickly, like, he will play games for us. And sure enough, he has. I do expect him to play tonight after clearing waivers. He's still with Minnesota. That was sort of like a little reset thing on his clock there as far as the contracts go and, waiver eligibility. So, when nobody claimed him, he stayed with Minnesota. He is going to be in the lineup tonight, is my expectation. He's a Minneapolis kid, so cool for him, I'm sure, to play for the Wild if this is it. As you mentioned, some time in the American League last couple of years, but you know what you get from him. Like, he's going to play a straight line game. He's going to finish his hits. He's going to try and get to the front of the net. And really for the Wild's fourth line, like most fourth lines, it's, don't be on the ice for any goals against. But it's nice to see Pitlick finding some footing with the team. Again, in the NHL, injuries, they're going to happen, and you got to have depth at the American Hockey League level. He's a good veteran presence for the Wild to call upon, and he's played pretty well in his action with Minnesota.
Thanks so much for this. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the game tonight.
All right, see you, Lowetide. Take care.
There you go. Enjoyed that very much. Joe O'Donnell, play-by-play man for the Minnesota Wild. When you talk about Tyler Pitlick, he's got cousins, Rem and Rhett, playing for the Bakersfield Condors on AHL contracts. Maybe they could get Tyler Pitlick down there and they could have an entire line going. I'm sure Mr. Pitlick would rather stay in the NHL, but it's a thought. $12:54, Lowdown with Lowetide. We're riffing off some things that we might do in hour number 2. We may talk about who's going to make the Super Bowl, especially from the AFC side, but we'll do NFC too. What's coming up on Declinations today?
Well, it's Hi, My Name Is, of course, because it's Tuesday.
Do we have a choice?
Nope.
Dude, have you picked somebody yet?
Yeah, but we're gonna do it a little bit differently.
Oh,
we're gonna do a slightly different formatting that we have done before. Since you guys aren't happy with the clues, what we're going to do is we're going to do it 20 question style. So you guys are all going to ask yes or no questions, 20 questions to try and guess the player. You're going to control your own destiny.
If we don't get it, do we get to rain down blows upon you?
No, yeah. It's our own fault if we don't get it. That's the point of this, is to take the onus off of him, which I respect. I like this style. I
feel as though he picks deliberately obscure guys, not just obscure, but it could be one of 30 different people. Well, last week was a shame.
Yeah, I mean, it was between two teams. He had his initials, but listen, I'll take that one on the chin. Last week, the text line got on me. It was a bad choice by me. I can't lie. So that's why this week, this guy who I picked today, or girl, no, it's a guy, but who I picked, famous player. You guys, like I said, control your own destiny with the questions, 20 question style. See if you can get the player.
And you're not giving us the sport for this one?
Well, that would I would presume be one of the earlier
I assume
questions.
that would be the first question.
Remember last week how I thought your guy was a seventh defenseman?
Yes.
And then after the show, I figured out who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
So it was Nikita Nikishin was your guy.
Nikita Nestorenko.
Sorry, Nestorenko.
Whatever his name is.
The guy I was thinking of was Nikita Nestorov.
Oh, okay. I know that guy.
Former seventh defenseman who played like 100 and some games.
See, that guy would have been a better choice.
He would have been because he played
those
at
guys
least 100 and some games.
Those guys are comparable. Nestorenko, he'll get 100 games by the end of the season.
Yeah, but we don't know him.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
All right. Okay, it's 12:55. On the way, we are going to talk who's going to make the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about how you feel about the Edmonton Oilers. You've sent in text. We will read them, and we have Hi, My Name that is on Declinations. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Time for a sports update with Declan Krueger.
The Sports 1440 update.
And it's brought to you by Custom Floors, Inc. Floors done right for homes or businesses. Visit the new showroom at 11577 149th Street. Now open 6 days a week with Saturday hours from 10 to 2. Or you can visit customfloorsinc.ca and you can bring that next flooring project to life. Edmonton Oilers, of course, in action tonight, 7 p.m. puck drop, playing host to the Minnesota Wild. It will be Stuart Skinner in the starters net. Other games in the NHL, including 4 games kicking off the action at 5 o'clock. We'll see Ottawa and Montreal, Boston and Detroit, Tampa in New York taking on the Islanders, and Dallas also in New York taking on the Rangers. Late game today in the NHL, we'll see the Washington Capitals in LA to take on the Kings. In the NBA tonight, action will tip off at 5 p.m. with the Wizards and 76ers. Line for that one currently Philadelphia at -13.5. Toronto Raptors in action at 5:30, playing host to the Portland Trail Blazers. The line for that one, Toronto -5.5. In the college basketball world, North Carolina and Kentucky play tonight at 7:30. Duke and Florida in the top 15 matchup at 5:30 as well. And in the sporting world, the Montreal Alouettes have re-signed star wide receiver Tyson Philpott to a 2-year deal, and Serena Williams has taken her first steps towards a comeback by registering for her drug test. Also, the Olympic Ice Arena in Milan is still not yet to be completed, and it is now being shared that the ice will be smaller than an NHL rink. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440, Stingray Radio Station. CHJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you and, if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
Every lunchtime, hang with Lowetide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. Lowetide and Declan Krueger gives you the deep dives, sharp analysis, and Edmonton sports talk done right. Your game, your station, Sports 1440.
Hey everybody, it's Team Principe and Jason Stradler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
When you're in need of deeper respiratory support, try NAC 8.5X. 600 milligrams of NAC with 8.5 times better absorption. Available now at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of each month.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Family owned, community driven. We're making it easy. Visit wolfgmcbuick.com on Twang Tuesday. What was that song, Declan?
That was Something in the Orange by Zach Bryan.
I enjoyed that. It was a nice feel to that song.
I like some of his stuff.
Yeah.
Kind of a scumbag, apparently, but I like some of his music.
You know, Johnny Cash was an angel. Not. Anyway, you were going to say something.
I was gonna say I made sure to put my headphones on last possible second, so I didn't have to hear any of that junk.
Know you love country. Does your dad like country music?
Oh God, no.
What does he listen to?
Classic rock.
Okay, well then he's okay. You know, if I ever want to see my brother, which I rarely do, I just go down to the Canadian Tire in St. Albert, and he's there. He lives in Beaumont, but he just tours around the Canadian Tires, you know, and he does the same thing. He'll help anybody, even a day, like he'd be working at midnight if it was to help somebody. Very generous, good fellow. He got all that. I got the mouth. So I wanted to talk about this. We have talked about the Edmonton Oilers, and we will in this segment or later. But I wanted to get to this because during the rumors segment, we sort of went on a tangent a little bit. Imagine us on a tangent about the National Football League and what team would come out of the NFC or AFC. And then I thought maybe we'd talk about the NFC too, because it feels like everything's a little, even at the top, different shades of equal. And so, you know, I know Declan really wants the Buffalo Bills to win, but I don't know that if he believes in them. We saw New England last night, what's the quarterback in New York?
Jackson Dart.
He needs to learn how to get out of bounds. He is getting hit he got drilled last night.
And he's coming off a concussion as well. Did you see his quote after the game when he was talking to the media? He was like, well, we're not playing soccer. And I was like, football
buddy,
guy.
He's gonna have a 2-year career. And the second year will be a game.
It's not trending well for him or Cam Scatteraboo, but
at least Dart shouldn't have CTE. Cam Scatteraboo, I can't say the same.
Like every NFL player ends up with CTE.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
do we know what
going to have like the next level? He's going to have like stage 17.
Do we know what the average lifetime is for an NFL player? Because it's got to be less than the normal lifetime.
I thought. Hold on. I don't want to say something.
I think there was an official study on that done, and it is not. It is below average. I think
59 to 60.
Yeah, that seems really early to pass away.
Incredibly early, yeah.
I guess it'd probably depend heavily on your position.
Oh, and that's a great point, right?
Like if you're a quarterback, you're going to be fine.
And if you're a kicker, you're going to live to 95.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, people will still diss you.
You might get hit 3 times in your lifetime.
And then one of them's a car accident.
And one of them's a big flag.
Okay. Anyway, who's going to be in the Super Bowl? Who wants to start?
Listen. Honestly, I don't know. I don't feel great about
answer.
Anything. Like if I look at the NFC, the team I would say I'm most confident with, and I know they just lost to the Panthers, is still the Rams. I still like the Rams out of the NFC. I think they're the best team in the NFC. The Seahawks are sneaky, playing really, really good
That's
football
actually a good
as
point.
well.
They are playing good.
I like the Rams a little bit better than them. And then I look at do I love anything out of the NFC South? No. Do I love the Bears or the Packers out of the NFC North? Like, not really. Do I love the Eagles? Not the way they've been playing. Dropped 2 straight. Like, for me, the Rams kind of sit alone in the NFC. In the AFC, I'm going to give the Broncos and the Pats the credit because of their record, that those are the 2 premier teams in the AFC right now. I still think the Bills could get there. And the Bills, you guys might feel deserve to be put above the Pats and the Broncos in that conversation. And then I hate this pick because I don't even think they're going to be a playoff team.
Oh God!
But
Chiefs.
until I see that E beside their name in the standings, I guess I'll throw the Chiefs in the convo.
So no, like, can we just establish now the Chargers are never going to win anything? I mean, this is a year where everything's different shades of equal, and they don't even get mentioned.
Well, everything's just gone so wrong for them.
They're missing Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater. Like that's honestly kind of like the oil without McDean dry.
They're missing one of the premier tackle duos. You're not going, and then the rest of your offensive line that's filling in now is if you look at PFF, they're all worst, second worst, or third worst.
It's actually beyond.
It's
comedy.
hilarious.
But they're trying, and that's the key.
The Chargers are being held together by Band-Aids right now.
They're just, and the fact that they're 8-4, I think speaks volumes to the quality of the rest of their talent at other positions. I look at the entire NFL and say, do I have a true favorite? I don't think I do. Like last year, I looked at the Eagles and said, this is the most talented roster in football. And I thought it was very clear.
They're so good.
But this year, while I still think the Eagles are the most talented roster in football, I just look at
You just hate the OC.
sheer incompetence at OC and say to myself, can you really win when your offense is that? I mean,
It's too late to fire him, right?
I don't think it's too late to do anything. I would
Because
I
they
would
look
fire him.
lame. They're flaccid.
I would fire him, and I would fire the entire Atlanta Falcons coaching staff into the sun, other than their DC.
Is the owner is 100 years old? Is he still the owner in Atlanta?
Yes.
Because
Arthur
nothing's going to happen until he goes.
How old is he?
Well, I think you could. I think at the end of the season, you're going to see some changes in Atlanta. If I had to give you my two, I think the Seattle Seahawks are just a substantially better version of the Denver Broncos. Similar, not as good on defense, but fairly comparable. I would take Sam Darnold in a heartbeat over Bo Nix.
Right.
I would take their entire offense over the Denver Broncos, other than the O-line. I just think the Seahawks are, like, the Broncos to me aren't a contender. They're just not. You can't have that bad of an offense
Right.
and be labeled as a true Super Bowl contender. I'm sorry.
Are they better than the Ravens offense that won with Ray Lewis? Because they were all defense.
I look at Bo Nix and say there's 25 quarterbacks that could do a better job, at least. Like I'm at a point with Bo Nix where 25, maybe even 30 quarterbacks.
Okay,
could
well,
name them.
that's insane. Name them.
Well, that would take a long time.
It's only 30 quarterbacks, and you said you
I-
could name at least 25.
Mac,
so
like
I think
Mac
you had-
Jones would do a better job running this offense.
You know, they've only
I
had-
disagree.
I don't think
A
so.
Sean
Yeah,
Payton
he-
offense.
Yeah, he thrives in a West Coast Kyle Shanahan.
How many great quarterbacks have they had? They had Elway and they had Manning.
Manning.
And
Brock
like
Osweiler.
Morton wasn't great. Like I go back to the 70s and I like when Elway came, they were something. And then when they, airlifted Manning in, they were something. But they've had a lot of weird quarterbacks, man.
They're at a point where I like everything about their team other than the main man behind center.
Do you think people were saying that about like Joe Flacco in 2011? No, wait,
2012.
12. Yeah.
Peyton
right.
Manning in 2015 had 9 touchdowns and 17 interceptions, but that team won on the strength of their defense.
It's true. Von Miller.
It's a Broncos team.
Von Miller's
Elvis
great.
Dumerville.
Yeah.
I'm with you that Bo Nix has underperformed. And I'm with you that quarterback is the most important position. But they are not, it's not like they are losing these games. Like they're still winning. They've won 9 in a row. I know the
By
games have
a
been
total of 3 points.
Yeah, listen, I know it's been close, but would you rather win games by 3 points or lose by what are
But
we
I don't,
talking about
like-
here? It's about wins and losses. Defense
How many
wins
teams that win
championships.
that many
Now-
games by 3 points end up winning the Super Bowl? Because once you're playing in the playoffs, you're playing a great team every week.
Yeah, well, it's not like they've been playing bad teams per se.
They've played some pretty bad teams.
Let
man.
me look down their schedule here.
They
Their
barely
schedule
beat the
hasn't
Jets.
been- yeah.
Like they won 13-11 over the New York Jets.
Oh yeah, no, their games are close, but
They
like
won 20 to
Chiefs,
12 against the
Texans,
Titans.
Cowboys, Eagles, Bengals, Chargers, Colts. Like it's obviously some of those are divisional games, but it's not like it's not like it's the Patriots schedule. It's not the toughest schedule in the world, and nor would it be based on where they finished in the division last year. But like whether you win or lose close, no one cares. It's all about getting the W's, and that's what they're doing. Now, listen, at the core of the argument, do I think the Broncos can win the Super Bowl? Probably not. Do I still think they are in just as good a position as anybody in the AFC right now to get there? I do.
Yeah. No. I just like when the playoffs come around, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to be in there. I'm taking the Chiefs out. I don't think this is their year. I have such a hard time picking against the Bills. The
Bills are so inconsistent.
So inconsistent. But that being said, Josh Allen goes to another level in the playoffs. Like every time I think about that 13-second game, he made every throw that he needed to. He made every right call, and his defense sold him. Like I think this is a one-man offense right here.
Yeah, it is.
with Josh Allen.
I'll say this. If I had to pick a team out of the AFC right now to make the Super Bowl, I would pick the Bills.
Okay, we finally get an answer.
I think it's Bills Rams Super Bowl this
And
year.
what about you?
I'm gonna say, to be a little bit different, I'll say Seahawks.
I like the Seahawks a lot, man. Their defense is so good.
Sam Darnold scares me a little bit, but I ultimately think Sam Darnold, I mean, is just miles ahead of a guy like Bo Nix. And then AFC, man, I have to go Bills. They've proven the most, I think, out of everybody there in terms of longevity. And if I was to pick Josh Allen against the Broncos defense and Bo Nix, I'm taking Josh Allen because he's shown you he can be Superman.
If the Buffalo Bills win the Super Bowl, how many of you individually, how many friends who you know who are Bills fans do you have? I probably got 30, and I'm not even lying. The most popular team among my friends is by far the Bills.
Yeah, there are a lot of Bills fans up here.
It's incredible. More than the Seahawks, I think, or at least close.
I don't know. I knew a lot of Seahawks fans growing up, but I do know a lot of Bills fans, like probably 15.
There's a lot. Too many to name.
Why is that? Is it the 4 lost ones, or do they play in Toronto, or what?
It would be probably how close they are to Canada. Their ties with the Toronto Blue Jays, I would assume, a little bit. Because a lot of Canadians, it's either really Seahawks or Bills, right? It depends on if you want to cheer for more West Coast or if you just see the closeness to them with the Toronto Blue Jays. Like Josh Allen's thrown out a first pitch before.
Yep.
You've seen them. I mean, even the Toronto Blue Jays and the Buffalo Bills said good luck in the playoffs to the Toronto Blue Jays, right? Like, I think those two teams kind of go hand in hand.
Yes.
A little bit. They're sort of Canada's team unofficially, if you will.
I think they are.
Yeah.
I think that's right.
I think another thing with the Bills is like, I think a lot of, Canadians harbor a lot of patriotism for Canada, and some of that's kind of what comes with an anti-America sentiment. And like the Bills aren't the Giants. They're not the Cowboys. Like they're kind of the yuppie underdog that sits right there on the border. That's right by Canada. That's kind of an afterthought as a city as a whole. And I think Canadians kind of appreciate that underdog mentality they have.
And Buffalo's, they're an unusual town at hockey games, Sabres games. They sing both anthems, even if there's not a Canadian team on the ice.
They love their lacrosse there too.
Well, you're right. Yeah. Yeah.
I am so surprised for how many people are actually standing with Bo Nix on the text line.
He's not, listen, his completion percentage this year, I think is like 60% or something, which is not good. I don't think Bo Nix is going to go down and put up 45 points to win you a game, but I don't think Denver has to win that way. And that's why I still like the team as a whole. Like, I think their defense just is that good.
I think they're a great defense, but like Sean on the text line, did you see Nix's drive in OT and how many drives he's won in the fourth quarter this year? He's a gamer. Well, did you see the rest of the game yesterday? Bo Nix was terrible.
Something to be said about a guy who gets it done in the fourth quarter, though.
And Sam Darnold shrinks in big moments.
Something to be said about a guy who can't perform in basically any other moment.
Sam Darnold last year looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and then he got down to the last 2 weeks deciding who got to win the NFC between them and the Lions, and he threw 3 interceptions against the Lions or something, got the doors totally blown off.
Yeah, then lost in the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
Who won what quarterback won the Super Bowl last year?
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, interesting. Matt says the old guys liked Marv Levy. We did. It was that era of CFL football is among my favorite. They had names like Ray Yawk, Hugh Campbell in Edmonton. Good days. All right. Now, do you have any other clues for us for this 20 questions chaos we're about to enter into at 1:40?
No, I mean, that's kind of the fun of it. It's like an R.L. Stein Goosebumps, choose your own adventure.
So we have a male is
yes,
what we've got.
It is a guy.
Animal, mineral, vegetable, male.
I feel pretty confident this is a male athlete.
All right.
Be correct.
Seeing as how it's a sports station, that doesn't count as a guess.
I believe that he will use his legs in this athletic discipline and possibly his arms.
So it's like, you guys will know who it is. It's not Nikita Nesterenko.
Another good point from Mark here on the text line. It's also because the Blue Jays AAA team plays in Buffalo as to why the Bills.
That's actually not a bad.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Really? Oh man, that's crazy. I was.
That's a great point.
Isn't that where Vladdy hit all the home runs?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
The 48 home run season. That's where it started because the COVID year They
Yeah.
couldn't cross the border into Canada and play games in Canada and stuff. Yeah, that's a great point by Mark.
That was a wild time. It really was. And it, the good thing is it brought us all together. I'm cracking myself up. All right, it's 1:16. On the way, we're talking Oilers. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Seriously, another door knocker?
They really
I really
did
want to
bring
go
us all
solar,
together,
but these high pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out. WolfGMCBuick.com. YYC Ryan says, how can you bet against a 25-year-old quarterback that looks like he's 45? That's a good point. Green Bay is the most popular team in Canada because of EE. Similar colors.
Well, maybe in Edmonton by that logic, but not all of Canada.
That just seems like
no, but we don't care about the rest of Canada. No, I don't think Green Bay is, right?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but there are a lot of Green Bay fans.
There are. There's no Eagles fan. I'm the only one I know.
Are you sure about that?
Eagles low-key got fans too. Maybe I'm just realizing every team has fans.
There's a lot of people on our text line that are.
Oh, no, but I mean, like, I love my text line. I love these people dearly, but I don't, like, know them.
That's a good point. But
you know.
I know another Eagles fan.
By the way, if I ever see you live with I can have a beer with Lowetide shirt, I'll buy you one. I'll buy you a beer. I won't stay necessarily. Like if I'm Christmas shopping or on the way to church, I might not stay.
So my recommendation to you, if you want a free beer from Lowetide, is show up to West Edmonton Mall and a certain entry/exit around maybe 1:55, and you might happen to catch him.
That's why I talked to a really nice guy the other day, gentleman. He was here for some kind of convention that they were having on the mall, and they were shooting a few rounds, and I met him at a golf tournament, Team 1260 golf tournament, decades ago, and he shook my hand and made sure I was okay, and we had a really nice chat. It was very. People are generally and genuinely kind and good.
Yeah, we I think all three of us between myself, Deck, and Josh, we met some very nice people that came and shook our hands at the Jason Krueger Pizza Pig out to flashback.
Nice. Yeah.
I mean, we had Dean Ockersey, I think, on the text line.
Dean Ockersey was there.
He was one of the gentlemen who shook our hands. And I'm forgetting who the other one was, but
well, I'm sure they're very impressed that you forgot who they were.
They're just big time in them.
Fellas, do you think, other than Love and Parsons to the Packers, have a good enough supporting cast to make a surprise run to the Super Bowl from Crow's Nest Oiler? Talking pack.
I don't know about a surprise run to the Super Bowl just because that's so tough to predict, and obviously playoffs get a little bit more intense and a little bit different. But like, I don't hate their supporting cast. I don't love their receiver group, but I don't think it's the worst in the world. And I like what they have in the backfield. So yeah.
Josh Jacobs actually, I mean, the touchdowns are there, but the
yards aren't.
Yards aren't really there.
I don't think he hasn't had 100 yards in a game since week 12 of last year.
I will always respect Green Bay Packers because they're the only organization in football that does quarterbacks right. They don't waste these kids. If I had a child who was drafted by the Green Bay Packers as a quarterback, I would sleep well at night.
I like the Packers out of the NFC, but I don't like. Do I think that they are? I could see them winning. I could, but I think that they would be in my top three. I think they'd be just outside.
I could see them winning as well, but I think a lot would have to go right.
Would they be your surprise outlier pick from your top three? Like take your top three, put it aside. Who would be the surprise winner of the group that's left?
I wouldn't call them the surprise because I could see it happening. Like they might be my number 4. Okay. But like the real surprise that I still like, man, they haven't played that well the past couple of weeks, but if things start to go right in Tampa, they would be a surprise. I like them, but also they've played pretty poorly the last number of weeks.
Yeah, I was thinking them as well, but I honestly think they're just not good enough. Like, I just think we know now what they are.
I don't think they're good enough, but I would call them a surprise. But if Baker balls out, if he gets healthier, like we've seen Baker ball out in the past, and he was great last year. He was unbelievable to start the year. So if you could get start of the year Baker, maybe.
Right. I'm an Eagles fan too, says Jeremiah. No, this is Triple C in a truck. No, Eagles will be back in the Super Bowl. They're just shutting it down and not showing their offense. LOL. That may be right.
I can't imagine that's right in the National
I think
Football
that's exactly
League.
Right. Yeah.
They're just not showing their offense for funsies.
Well, they just, we got this thing.
They just they want to lose national standalone games for the Chicago Bears. For the
I've never liked their coach, and young Donovan here hates their OC. So I can't get mad at the Eagles no matter what they do. But if they fired everybody and brought in a new coach, I think that would be okay.
Well, like he won you a Super Bowl a year ago. Like
I know, but I don't like him. He's kind of a jerk. Peterson wasn't a jerk. He was a good man. And Dick Vermeil used to cry when he won or lost. That's the kind of coach I want.
I don't think you can fire Sirianni, but I think you can make the strong argument that they should fire their OC.
This is from Coach Sheldur. You should charity raffle off a beer with Lowetide. I think that would be a surprise what it would go for. I mean, it's not that big a deal. Number one, and you guys can confirm, I don't hear anything anybody says. So you'd be having a beer in silence. You would talk, and I go, what? What? That's the whole show.
If he's not actively trying to listen to you, he will not hear a lick of what you're saying.
Right. I am indifferent, and I can't hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how they call Elliot Friedman the most plugged in man in the industry?
I'm the least plugged in man.
You might be the least plugged in man.
I like
in the
that.
sense of you don't hear anything anyone's saying, as you just said. I mean, frankly,
you don't listen.
You don't listen. You don't really care to listen.
No, I'm not interested. I have less interest in really anything. I do the show. I love doing the show. And one of the reasons that people tell me stuff, I get stuff all the time, but I never use it because I'm not an insider. So somebody will say, this is going to happen. I go, oh, okay, but I don't use it. So in that way, I think I am the least plugged in person because I don't use the stuff.
Now, yeah, maybe if we had the mics turned on during the breaks, you might get a couple insider tips from the old LT. But yeah, there's no real insider info happening.
No, and I get my stuff like an hour before it happens. I mean, I still get it, but it's not that long, in advance. I just want to drink a bottle of whiskey with LT and talk about Eagles and Notre Dame and Oilers from Triple C in a truck.
Cute date. You should raffle that off.
Come on. What?
You, Lowetide, and a bottle of Crown Royal.
That's right. That's right. And a club to beat him to death when he cannot hear you. Yeah, ask Karen. I'll have her on the show. She'll tell you how hard of hearing I am.
Could you imagine doing a Sports 1440 auction, like a date auction, where I have Greg raffling off Greg's, you, Kevin.
There'd be so many things that had to happen for me to be on the date. Like, number one, I usually fall asleep between 9 and 10. I don't know how the thing when you get in your car and it tells you where to go. I don't know how that works. So if it's got to be somewhere like I know and I've been to before.
Canadian Tire in St. Albert.
Remembering is a thing. And it depends on my mood. I may not be verbal,
Prominent mood swings.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And just like that, they're on a date with their wives.
I was gonna say going on a date with you seems like a warning label for a pharmaceutical company.
I think that it would be. I think if you went on a date with me, you probably would appreciate your friends more afterwards.
The warning label that comes with you sounds like the side effects of Ozempic.
What have you heard? I would do a lot of things to share a beer with LT from Slurp.
What I'm taking from the text line is your raffle/auction would go for the most.
It's because I never do anything with anybody, so I'm like a hermit. So it's like, oh my God, he's outside.
Yeah, we've never even seen the inside of your house.
No, and you won't.
Never seen the inside of his car.
LT, I'm pretty sure Gregor would hire a car service to make sure you show up. Well, that's probably true.
Gregor would have to hire one of those fake kidnappers.
Philly should definitely fire Sirianni. Panthers should also fire McLean, and the Dodgers should fire Roberts. Amazing take from Propane. There you go. Actually, I think Roberts is not a great manager. They won 2 years in a row, and that's great. But I don't like the way he handles his pitching staff at all.
Okay.
I think it's actually a pretty fair criticism.
No.
If I was to actually rank where Dave Roberts stands in the MLB in terms of actual manager talent, I think he'd be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's fair. He's certainly not the best. He's got the best roster, but that's different than being the best manager.
Just because you have the best roster doesn't mean you're the best manager. Now, there is something we said about still winning. I don't think they won at all because of Dave Roberts. They just won because they had the most talented roster.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And they both years they buggered up their pitching. They buggered up their pitching staff. They the first year they couldn't get their starters to do anything. This year all they did was with their starters, and both times he just ran everybody into the ground. They almost ran out of pitchers in 2024. Like if who was their final pitcher on the mound? If he hadn't been able to close it out, they had nobody left. And look, he's got a great roster. He's done great things. Fabulous. I'm just saying that I think he's overrated. I don't think he's I don't think he's Tommy Lasorda or Walt Alston. I'll put it that way.
Counterpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Roberts stole the base in 04.
It was huge. It was huge. I remember saying, if they win, remember that, and nobody did.
So
clearly we need another listener event like the Athletic had with LT. I enjoyed that, Steve. I had a great questions. Allison Curry was the host, and I answered questions and made stuff up. And it was really cool. And then the Oilers and Flames beat the tar out of each other. Goalie fights that night. It was crazy. It was a nutty evening.
You should arrange that. Have a little charity event.
I don't arrange things.
That is true, actually.
I'm the disarray guy. Where's Lowetide?
You just kind of show up for your show, leave.
That's it.
You're right.
I do three things well. One of them is this. The others go to bathroom at 4, and I can't say what the other thing is. All right, it's 1:33. Are we going to need extra time for declamations? Hi, my name is.
Oh, I certainly don't think so. You guys have 20 questions between the three of you. I assume you'll knock it out pretty quickly. I don't think it'll take all 20 questions. We can riff here for another couple minutes before we get to break.
You highly overestimate us.
It's a pretty.
Do you know what it is?
I have no clue.
God, I just feel like we're going to be resentful and key his car again at the end of this.
But this is like the Subway thing. Like, you're making the sandwich.
That's a good point.
All right, 20 questions. Hi, my name is. Declanations next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
You matter. Your mental health matters, and you're braver than you think. Not Alone is an organization focused on creating a space of acceptance and support through tough, meaningful conversation. My name is Tyler Smith, and you are never alone. NotAloneCo.com. It's okay to not be okay.
Mission Rally Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Heavy Truck Auction is this Thursday at 9 a.m. with Tridem, tandem, and single-axle trucks, including tractors, decks, dumps, plows, vacs, man lifts, pickers, refuse trucks, and more. Info at maauctions.com.
Winter snow and ice are nothing to fear when the Lawnmower Hospital's in your corner. Keep pathways clear of snow with the Echo PB770T backpack blower, or go even bigger with the huge PB9010T. Right now, buy select commercial walk-behind BCS sweepers and get the Echo PB9010T for free. The Lawnmower Hospital has pet-safe, plant-safe ice melt, too. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital. Mission Rally Auctioneering's Calgary, Edmonton, Winnipeg Public Unreserved Equipment Auction is this Friday at 9 a.m. featuring graders, excavators, forklifts, loaders, man lifts, skid steers, plus commercial trailers including 3 unused 2023 Timmins 55-ton triaxle lowboys. Info at maauctions.com.
Jason Krueger isn't just a sports guy. He's a community builder. With over $2 million raised for local charities and his Krueger Foundation, he's making a difference on and off the air. Check out Krueger weekday afternoons on Sports 1440.
Tis the season for Sally. Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge. Take a break from the holiday hustle and bustle. Cheer on your favorite team and ask about the daily game night food and drink features. Plus, there's tons of TVs and Oilers watch parties this December and all season long. Sally's Sports Bar and Lounge at all 3 Century Casino locations, Edmonton, St. Albert, and Century Mile. Check it out.
Every day is game day at Century Casino.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Day or night, tasting just so right. You can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca, delivering you the news almost right away. Remember, you can order oodle noodle at oodlenoodle.ca. So stay on your couch all day and order oodlenoodle.ca. Oodle noodle.
When you're in need of deeper respiratory support, try NAC 8.5X. 600 milligrams of NAC with 8.5 times better absorption. Available now at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of each month.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
After 20 years, Canada's most prestigious international hockey tournament returns. The Camrose Viking Cup, December 28th to January 4th at Encana Arena. Tickets at vikingcup.ca. Brought to you by Sports 1440.
I'm making my list, checking it twice. And guess what? I'm giving Wilhauk beef jerky to everyone, naughty and nice. Because honestly, everyone deserves a taste of Alberta's finest, no matter if they've been bad or good. So this holiday season, skip the chocolates and pass on the turkey. Make sure you're Wilhauking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Ho, ho, ho!
Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. With special guests Haley Benedict and Morgan Clyburn. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. Hosted by Chris Sheets. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Dennis here from Weiss Johnson, along with my brother Mark.
Hi there.
My bro is the go-to for all our tough installs.
I do all the hard work. He gets all the glory. Mister, I'm on the radio.
Hey, we can't all be famous, but seriously, Mark's the best. And he's here if you're looking to add a legal basement suite in your home.
We install tons of furnace systems for folks wanting basement suites. It helps to subsidize their mortgages.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Obviously.
Weiss Johnson, your legal suite heating system experts.
Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. An excellent job of Twang Tuesday by my friend Declan. Well done, sir. You are a man of many talents. It is time for Declinations, brought to you by Elks Nation. 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele, Declan Krueger, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth E football coverage available on YouTube, anywhere you get your podcasts. And with that, the friendly portion of the Lowetide Declan Krueger day ends as we go to Hi, My Name Is.
Okay. 20 yes or no questions for you lot to guess the player. Fire away when ready.
So should our first question be, does this person play in the National Hockey League?
Well, what sport might be?
What sport is probably better?
It's a yes or no question, guys.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Well,
Said that multiple times.
So, but we only get 20 questions. This is already rigged.
God forbid we have to burn at most 4.
Okay, well, go ahead. Fire away.
Does this person play in the National Hockey League?
No.
Damn.
Well, that's one down.
There we go. I think this is a big 4 sports guy, so I think we just have to.
Is this a professional football player?
Yes.
Ooh.
Does this guy have a ring?
Yes.
God, I think you're gonna hate this one. Did this guy play in the CFL?
No.
Okay, you are fired.
What? I was just making sure. He would have pulled something. You said professional football player.
I understand.
The CFL is a professional football league.
Okay, I understand, but he's going.
He works for Elks Nation.
He's going for NFL.
Great convo with Chris Morris last Friday.
Yeah.
Nice plug.
This could have been Eddie Steele for all we knew. We could have just been circling the drain.
Offense or defense?
That's not how this works, Tide. It's yes
Offense
or no.
or defense? I'm not using 2-1. Offense?
No. That's the thing. You don't have to use 2, because if the answer is no for 1, you know what yes for the other.
Well, hold on. What if this guy plays special teams?
A kicker.
Could be.
How many questions have we used up already?
5.
Josh has used 4 of them.
I've used 2.
Is this man a quarterback?
No. Especially because he doesn't play offense.
Oh,
all right, you're both fired.
I was paying attention.
Did this guy play on the line?
No.
Okay.
Is he active?
No.
Ooh. Interesting.
How many have we asked then? 16?
8.
Okay. So we've got an inactive defensive player in the National Football League.
Who's not a quarterback?
You should
That was a worse question than did he play in the CFL?
Yeah.
I was paying attention to the question before.
Well, it's your question now.
Was he a multiple team player?
No.
Oh.
Did he ever win Defensive Player of the Year?
Yes.
I think I know who this is.
You guys are at 10. You guys are halfway
I got
through.
a sneaky suspicion.
Well, ask.
You want me? Did he play in the NFC?
No.
Damn, never mind. It's not Luke Kuechly.
How many questions are we up to now?
11.
Jesus. We know nothing. We know he's not a quarterback.
We know he plays defense and not in the NFC, so it's an
You guys
AFC
know he's the
defensive
Super Bowl champion defensive player of the year who played in the AFC and played for one
and
team.
is retired.
Well, did Ray Lewis play for more than one team?
No. Maybe the next question we should burn is, did he play on a historic defense?
No. He's tricky. Like we're up to 9 now, right?
11.
We're at 7 questions we've asked. So
We got to be careful.
yeah, we do. We got to be really, really careful.
Well, hold on. He plays in the AFC. We could hammer out a division.
We could.
Well, and that actually is not a bad one.
Well,
but there's-
actually, hold on. Was this player active after like 2010 or something? Because if it's Ray Lewis, then he wasn't. But if it's someone recent, it takes it off the board.
God, one team. That's rare though. We should.
It should be Ray Lewis. Like this is or Ed Reed could be a safety.
Who's the Broncos guy?
Oh,
Brilliant.
wait, Ed Reed played for the Texans.
No,
That's
but
my
I
bad.
know. But the Broncos defensive player, we mentioned him earlier.
Yeah, it's not Von Miller. He played
Okay.
for the Bills.
Okay, right. You are. Not
And he's
Reggie
on the
White.
the Commanders right now.
And he's on the C words.
He's active.
Oh, gee.
Um,
Okay. So far, we're not going to ask if it's Ray Lewis, but we think it might be.
That sneaking suspicion.
So how do we surround Ray Lewis like we're a pack of wolves? Like a pack of wolves.
I don't know what How many times did that Ravens team only won one Super Bowl, right?
They were a different team by the time they won the second one.
Yeah, they were Joe Flacco. I think Ray Lewis was retired already. Ed Reed.
Did I ever tell you I hate Declan with the fire of 1,000 suns?
He just picked a player. These are our bad questions.
No, but the universe is so we need 40 questions.
Oh, well.
And we've used 7 already of the 20.
11.
Why don't we just hammer out the division?
All right. Did this player play in the AFC North?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
So, Ray Lewis.
Well, is that the next step?
Troy Polamalu.
Okay, well, let's. Is it Ray Lewis?
It is Ray Lewis.
Ooh.
We did it, boys.
Guys, we figured it out.
Your player was Ray Lewis.
Well,
Good job by us.
Do you like that format better? Because we looked like fools, but we got the
I
answer.
did like it. I think it might have been more entertaining. It was more entertaining for me, for sure.
Yeah. You know what's funny, though? And I'm going to ask
Was he
this,
ever acquitted of murder?
Well, that's what I was saying. The one question we could have asked is was he involved in a very famous case?
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
Answer sure would have been yes.
MTR clocked my ass too. Keekly never won a ring. That's on
He
me.
clocked you guys like 3 times.
Again,
There were a few people
fairness to us,
texting in about the murder thing.
in fairness to us, when you're live on the radio and your brain is working overtime and you
true.
miss stuff like,
It's true.
defensive players don't play quarterback, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's no defense on that one. Other than I pulled a Declan and wasn't paying attention and wasn't really listening. I was just thinking ahead to
Yeah, the next question.
the next question.
It's like when you're trying to impress a girl and you don't hear what she says. Like,
Hey,
no,
you
I
still
don't want to
bag
go out
Karen
with-
though, so here we go.
I do like Montana to Rice. Ray Lewis last game was Super Bowl against the 49ers. Wake up, Josh.
I'm convinced that MTR doesn't actually exist and it's just Kevin Carius, so he can text himself back and forth and pretend he has an on-air enemy.
I never thought that. It was great. I should do that.
Because Kevin's big thing is wake up. So obviously MTR has adopted this.
I think you may have reached a paranoia point.
That being said, it could be
MTR,
curious.
arguably the most loyal texter on this station. Send in a picture of yourself so we know who you actually are.
Troy
It's just
Polamalu
the
was
Getty
interesting.
images.
The Getty images of
Did
Carrier.
Polamalu have the weirdest hair? Like, you could pull that.
Oh, yeah, but he was so
player.
good
He
at
was sick.
football. He was so good at football.
He hit, like, Ronnie Lott's the hardest hitter I ever saw. Like, I never saw him live, but I saw him on TV a lot.
good
Ronnie
show.
Lott was like a torpedo going through the air, but Polamalu could hit.
Best hitter I've ever seen is Cam Chancellor, because I didn't get to watch Ray Lewis play. I did watch Cam Chancellor play, though. Absolutely sick hit sticks from that guy.
Will says this is a better format for Hi, My Name Is.
It probably is. We look a little foolish, but
But
we
that's
got
the job.
answer. Although I don't think we would have got the answer last week. That was just pure, absolute cruelty.
MTR, that is great. Thank you so much for that. MTR has sent in a picture of one Kevin Carius.
From way back when. This is like 42-year-old Kevin Carey.
Well, he was,
I didn't even know it was Carrier.
the global sign, yeah.
Come on, like, look at the chin. That's Carius.
He was
right
on his
there.
way to his garden. We know that.
Kevin wearing a backwards hat. Just something doesn't sit right there.
I've
Thought he
never
was
seen
holding
Kevin
a
wear a hat.
gun too.
Well, he's
He's holding a
matured.
boom.
Backwards hat. You can't wear it when you're my age. You look like a
dweeb.
Well, when your guys are fine, because you're young and you probably
And we're all losing our hair, so we're trying to
probably you
prevent
haven't
that.
showered in a week. We know that about you.
It does raise an interesting question. Like, at what age do you have to stop wearing a backwards hat?
40 or 28.
40 sounds good.
Dan Quinn's still wearing a backwards hat. He's in his 50s.
Yeah, but if you're an NFL coach, it's different.
No.
Andrew Walker recently turned, now 40-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He wears a backwards hat.
Well, tell him the show says he can't anymore. Like, I
What
don't
show?
you agree that it's sort of a young thing? Like, maybe,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
yeah, like,
yeah, there is a certain age where you look at a guy wearing a backwards hat and you're like, what are you doing?
it's
Go
like a
home to your
25
wife.
Yeah.
It's like a 25-year-old wearing a
The guy
like a
doesn't have a
bow
wife,
tie.
that's why he's
You
wearing it
wouldn't do that
backwards.
either.
I would wear a bow tie. Tucker Carlson, man. Oh, forget about it.
All right, we're
That's
just gonna
the
skip
first
over that.
Tucker Carlson comment we've had.
We're just gonna skip over. We're just gonna skip over that one. I don't know. Like my dad, every once in a while, will put a hat on backwards, but that's when he like really like. You ever seen that Sylvester Stallone movie Over the Top?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like
it's
that.
like that.
When
He's
he's
ready.
really trying to focus, he'll flip the hat
Yeah.
backwards.
It's go time.
Yeah, exactly.
I got it. I just think it's a look that you go outside with. Like, hey, honey, you want to go to the keg and you put your hat on backwards? Probably not the thing to do.
I actually think, yeah, I would agree with that. I actually wear my hat backwards when I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
Every other time, I'm usually just straight.
Right. And that's the way it should be. Wearing a hat's fine.
Every other time besides at work, you're straight. That's a
No.
little weird, man. That's a
Well,
little weird.
4 men in a room and you're saying that. I'm just saying. You know,
You know what I meant.
We have it on tape.
we know what you meant and we're afraid. I'm blue collar and look better in a backwards hat than forward hat. Okay. I will buy a crate of bees and release it in your studio from Andrew. This is a violent group we have today.
This is taking a turn.
Yeah. Massive pause.
Massive pause.
That's what we do.
No, I was talking about Donnie saying he's straight. And,
yeah.
straight everyone but in the studio.
What was the Seinfeld line? Not that there's anything wrong with that. You
No,
know?
not that there's anything wrong with that, Donnie. You are in a room with 3 men, however.
The only older guy who can wear his hat backwards is Ken Griffey Jr. I kind of agree with that. When he's rocking, home runs out of the park. I hope he's still doing that. Man, I love Junior.
You guys really kind of glossed over the fact that Walks texted into the show after you were flaming him for his hat. Like, I thought that'd be a bigger deal.
Walks texted into the show.
I didn't see it.
Who's texting you just read?
Just this guy named Andrew. Is that his phone number? Because if Walker is trying to say that he's blue collar,
Yeah, that's not
Bro.
going to work. And also,
no way.
I mean, Andrew, I know, but I didn't know it was Walker. I would have given it a little more torque.
You want to double check that there phone number
By the
for
way,
us, Donnie?
By the way, this is the second time Walker's been on the show, so I
That
want
is-
credit for that.
I mean, that is Walker. So, like,
That is Walker.
So his number is 1. No, I'm teasing. I won't do it. I want him to talk to me. Screw that. I'm 50. It's my generation who turned the hat around originally from Propane Pimp. Okay. I think you can let go of some things when you turn 50, though, right? Like you don't have to,
Everyone texting your age, by the way. I want to see something.
28 is Jack Roslovic's number. I mean, I'm not riding my bike around Maidstone anymore. So I think there's a few things you can let go of. All right, Jason Gregor is on the way next. Big game tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, Minnesota Wild, and Jesper Wallstedt in town. If he shuts out the Oilers, I don't have to do any show prep. Just show up tomorrow. All right, have a great day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Loca Quality Market. Your fridge just got an upgrade. Over 200 chef-prepared gourmet meals waiting at Loca Quality Market. Shop local at loca.ca. Edmonton Oilers, of course, in action tonight as they play host to the Minnesota Wild. There will be a 7 p.m. puck drop down at Rogers for that one. It's going to be Stuart Skinner in the starter's net. NHL action kicks off with 4 games at 5, including the Sens and Canadiens, Bruins and Red Wings, and Tampa and Dallas, both in New York. Dallas playing the Rangers and Tampa playing the Islanders. The late game today, we'll see the Caps in LA to take on the Kings. In the NBA, it all gets going at 5 o'clock with the Wizards and Philadelphia 76ers. Line for that one currently Philadelphia minus 13.5. Toronto, they're playing host to the Trailblazers at 5:30. That line at minus 5.5. Other news in the sporting world as the Montreal Alouettes have re-signed wide receiver Tyson Philpott to a 2-year deal, and Serena Williams has taken the first steps towards a comeback to tennis by registering for drug tests. That's going to do it for us here on behalf of Josh Fenwick, Donovan Paulson, and Lowetide. This is Declan Krueger with your sports update. Up next, it is the Jason Gregor Show with Connor Howard.
Sports 1440 in West.